Good evening, and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to go ahead and throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, and the Tier 2 emote, the blue emote, which is new-ish. If you're currently a subscriber, you can apply with those emotes. If you're not a subscriber, you can say hi, you can use other people's emotes, or you can be a lurker, and that's also okay. Let's see, we got Lashbrook here, we got Arctic Sloth. Before the stream even started for real, Sazabi was in here letting us know that they got a new kit, the Psycho Gundam. Heck yeah, enjoy. Ghost Valve's here, welcome Ghost Valve. We got a great crew here already. We're already starting fantastic, and we also are already starting because somebody renewed their subscription between my stream ending on Thursday and my stream starting tonight. Aristofan's here. Hey, Aristofan. So we're up to 40 subscribers. We were at 39, and then somebody renewed. So I don't know who did that, but thank you for the person that renewed, because it wasn't a new, because I would see that. So it was a renewal. But yeah, we're back to 40. We're we want to get to 45. I stopped talking about it at 50, but 45 is great too. Believe me, over 40 is fantastic. We'll talk a little bit about how that changes in the future. It might change. Right now it doesn't. In the future it might change. We'll also talk about some other announced things that are coming to Twitch that might be features that will be beneficial to streamers and stream viewers alike. Mostly streamers, but still some good shit that's coming through. We'll talk about that. Tonight we will also talk about... I got a rant in me about the not great time I had last night watching professional wrestling and the possible decisions that may lead me. I might be done watching SmackDown because it used to be pretty okay, and it's got a lot of wrestlers I like, and I watch it with people that I like, and we talk while what happens in a Discord. But it's a bad show, and I don't know if I want to keep doing it, so I might stop. We'll talk about that. Let's see. And that might be it as far as like big topics. And then the second hour, anime. Didn't do that on Thursday because I had gotten busy and didn't watch anything. But I did have 3 shows that I want to talk about tonight. Arctic Sloth says, hi, I see a button, so I will press it. Arctic Sloth has enough channel points to hit the dance button, so I'm going to play a dance song, and I'm going to dance a little bit, and you can dance a little bit at home. It took a second to load there because I haven't played the dance button in a while, so it was not cached. But yes, that is the dance button. Thank you for using your channel points to allow me to play the dance song. Now, could I just play it on myself? Yes. I have unlimited channel points in my own channel, but that's not how this goes. But I can play other sound effects, like I could play this. I can just play that. I can just play that toilet flushing sound. The least used trigger on my Stream Deck is that, because it's very rare that I feel the need to press that button. Anyway, hi. If you're new, this is weird, but I build model kits and I hang out and we talk about stuff. That's a general premise of the stream. Is that we're going to hang out, we're going to talk about a bunch of different things. I'm going to rant, I'm going to read your chat messages. I almost said your tweets, but that's not true. I'm going to read your chat messages and we'll have a conversation. It's going to be somewhat one way because while I read things, I can choose not to read things or not to engage in things because it's my stream. Security Guru Guy, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Arctic Sauce says, do not read my tweets. Yeah. We're not going to read any tweets. I am going to retweet my own tweet to see if a few more friends want to join us because that's fun when more friends come in and watch the stream. So I do a little bit of a reminder by putting the link to the stream and then like see if people will come. I put a photo of the kit we're working on and a photo of me because I read somewhere that people will see my face and they'll actually read the tweet more than they would just see a picture that I've already posted a couple times of the model kit that I'm working on. I don't know if that's true, but it's easy to do, and so I do that. I don't get deep on analytics. Like I don't we'll get into the model kit building, and I'll talk about this because I wasn't expecting to, but it is an interesting conversation. I think it's a thing that I think about a lot, about where to go and what to do in relation to um, like what I talk of, like how I approach getting people to engage with what I do. Uh, be it that, which generally in this particular instance means, how do I get people to tune in? I don't know how to keep them. I keep them by just being good at what I do and continuing to do that good that I'm doing. That is, that the retention comes from that, and also this being an environment where people feel like they want to stick around. I do my best to have this be like a community of people that, like, even if you're not super into model kit building, it's a good conversation. If you're not into the conversation, it's about model kit building and you get to watch a model get built. If you're not into the anime conversation, maybe there's one show I talk about that like piques your interest and you're like, oh, you know what, actually that's the show, Pat. You finally talked about the show that I actually want to watch, that kind of thing. You're not engaging in the wrestling, but maybe my descriptions of the nonsense that is happening in the wrestling appeals to you and interests you. Like, there might be something that you could pull from that. So that's kind of my goal for that. Now, getting people to come in and watch the streams, that is the thing that I have been, I struggle with a little bit. How to get through to people, because it's like retweets don't work. But if you retweet my stuff, that works. But if I retweet myself, that doesn't work. Or, like, I probably need to guest on other streamers. I should ask. Here's the thing I could do that I feel weird about. I could study who I know that streams before my stream starts and ends during my stream. I should collect data of who's streaming at, like, up until around 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. Eastern on the nights that I stream. And I could do that research and then ask them to, hey, if you ever think about, if you rated your end of your streams, I'm doing this today. And, you could rate. That feels weird, and I don't love that, but I could do that. I could be like, hey, let people know. I could be more strategic about who I rate at the end of the stream, because I should be theoretically rating bigger streamers, so that my name shows up and they'll say my name. I should be doing a more variety of people, of different styles of streaming and all that, instead of people that I think are interesting, are doing fun stuff that I kind of want to just go and give some support to. Or people who are only marginally pulling in a bigger audience than me. I want to do stuff that's smart for me and feels good to do, but also I want to do stuff that doesn't feel shady or shitty. I would like to avoid shady or shitty activities, if at all possible. And that includes my behavior as a streamer. Because people can see through that shit. And I'm not here to play the game or any games. Except on Wednesday when I play video games. Nice. Nice, Pat. Still got it. But I'm not here to... I'm not trying to game the system or cheat anything. But there are smart things you can do, right? Like... I talked about this a little bit before, but I had a model kit. I had a model kit stream. The VODs of a couple of my streams did really well. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm going to go look up and see what kit it was. Because my numbers, yeah, okay. For some reason, the Exia Repair 2 Real Grade, a kit some of you may have completely forgotten that I worked on. I worked on it in June, like a month ago, exactly the middle of June, into the end of June. The Exia Repair 2 Real Grade has, in one instance, 100 more views than my normal VODs. And my VODs are only advertised on my Twitter the next day. But yeah, 100 views on one, 138 views on another. And then the very next one, when I worked on Kirby and the male is Kenbu, so that's my birthday stream. My birthday stream has 3 views, and that's typical for those VODs. I don't expect people to be watching those VODs. But why did the Exia Repair 2 Real Grade have so big views? And the answer is, I don't know. It's on my VODs channel, which is not my main channel, which has not a lot of views. It literally just does not have the same view numbers. It doesn't have the same subscribers. Like I said, I promote it on my Twitter with 1 tweet at the next day. I don't know why so many people showed up to watch those videos. I legitimately have no idea. Now, I could chase it, right? I could try to go out of my way to buy more real grades, because maybe it's real grades. Or I have an Exia Repair to a high grade. What if that's what got them? The answer, I don't know the answer, and I never really will, because it was a weird blip in the radar. But the thing that I have to be careful of is chasing, right? I don't want to chase trends. Like, I don't want to pick a different day than Wednesday to play games. I like playing games or doing talk shows on Wednesday. My numbers could be better in another time, another day. But that's the day that I like to do it. So I'm going to keep doing it on those days. And I'm going to keep playing the games I'm interested in, even if, like, Jackbox gets good numbers. It probably wouldn't get good numbers every week, but it gets good numbers. But I'm not gonna do that every week or every other week. I'm not gonna be like, well, I better keep playing Jackbox because it does the best of any Wednesday stream. Because, like, turns out I don't get a ton of people to watch my Pokemon randomizer runs, but I really like my Pokemon randomizer runs. Come back on Wednesday to see my in 2 weeks to see that. Or, like, we're gonna play Power Wash Simulator, which is in full release. It came out on Thursday. We're going to play that on Wednesday because I've been following along with that game and I want to do the full version. And I want to power wash a big giant hand statue and figure out some lore while we do that. Because that seems like a thing that I really would like to do. So I'm going to do it. But yeah, I do think about those things, right? Like, I got a bit of a bump doing Wrist Fan, they were checking it out. I'm glad. I think simulator games get a bad rap with capital G gamers, and it's a shame because they're very fucking fun, and I think a lot of people, like, don't recognize that they would have a good time with them. So I'm kind of panel lining as I go, just because when you start adding in layers, it gets really difficult. So I'm just gonna panel as I go. But, like, I did the Nextlander. This was a while ago. I did the Nextlander Ramblecast, which is their, like, podcast that it's like a certain tier their Patreon gets, and now, like, a lower tier gets, like, a week later, but you have to go out of your way to download it. It just becomes available. You have to go out of your way to download it. Would it have been better for me to be on their main show? Yes. That was not offered to me, and I was happy to be on the Ramblecast and mostly talk about model kits. Making appearances on other people's streams could be incredibly beneficial to me. Going to PAX, I didn't want to go to East. I don't want to go to West. I'm not going to West. But going to PAX would be huge for me, especially these PAXs where, like, my panels would, by the very nature of being somewhat of a big deal, would draw in people who were just looking for something to do at night. And I would do pretty well at PAX. When I hear about some of the panels that happened at East, I could be considered a big deal at that convention. But I'm not going to go for health reasons and money reasons, but mostly health reasons. But that would be very big for me. So I think about these things quite a bit. What I can do to kind of grow, because the Patreon is stagnant in growth, it slips a little bit and then it rebounds a little bit. It's been slipping ways, but it's stable, which is great. The high days of 60 to 70 subscribers a month on Twitch has dwindled now to 30 to 50. Closer to, my hope it would be closer to 40 to 50, but often sometimes 30 to 40, which is certainly not what I'm looking for as far as that goes. But it is, like, still consistent. Like, my stuff is good. My numbers for views start off under 10. And then through most of the stream, it's 10 to 15. Sometimes we peak higher. Our retention from raids isn't great. We don't get a lot of raids, and our retention isn't as good as I would like it to be. But also, raid retention is bad for a lot of people. And thankfully, we rarely get raided by, like, an incredibly high number of people, because if 90% of 10 people leave, I mean, that sucks. But if 90% of, like, 400 people leave, that can feel devastating. It's been rare that we've been rated by that high number, but we once got rated by Abby Russell, and it was fantastic that we got rated by Abby, and I was grateful for it. But it also, I had to prep myself as it was going, all right, stop looking at the numbers, because the numbers are going to just start dropping. Don't look at the numbers, because the numbers are going to be bad. Because some people weren't even paying attention, and they didn't realize they went on a raid, and suddenly it's not the person they were watching, it's somebody else. That has happened to me before, where my focus went another place, and I was like, wait, what happened to the streamer I was watching? Who's this person? What's this? This tiny clear piece has to go on the top here, and there's a sticker that goes on it. This is like the front-facing camera, and this piece is going to be annoying to put on because it's hard to see what the front and what the back is of this piece, because it is, of course, clear plastic. This is the back. I really don't like this. I feel like this should be a part you have to put into the head. Again, this is a kit from 2010. Oh, I don't think I said that tonight. The Raphael Gundam is from 2010. So it's an old Gundam. Now, one of the benefits that I forgot to mention on Thursday is look how goddamn big this instruction booklet is. This is a high-grade book, but sometimes high-grade books are teeny tiny to save on space and printing. But this is nice and big, and that is fantastic for me as someone that wears glasses. It is nice to have a big instruction book, especially because there's not a lick of English in this book, which you wouldn't expect necessarily there to be. All right, so why is this being odd? Now, there's a sticker I have to put on this, but so it's going to be like this. The V-fin is going to be like this, and then this piece fits on top of the V-fin, and I can tell that this is the side that has the hole in it. So I have to place it on top of the V-fin on this little part there. I'm going to slide it on top. And then I put a sticker on the front part, and then it sticks in there. But I don't want to put the stick. I didn't want to put the sticker on this piece first, which they suggest, because then I'm going to be just rubbing the sticker off as I try to get this piece of plastic onto this other piece of plastic. And I don't want to give up, because it'll just look weird if I do that. Because eventually this is going to go on here. Oh, I should actually see how that goes on too. I can do that. All right, there's a part that snaps. Yeah. This is going to go. I should see how this fits on, and then I can adjust it accordingly. Yeah. So this part snaps in here. And then it's the This is not. I would describe this as frustrating. This is. I would describe this particular the time I am having here as being frustrating moment. All right, so this is going to go like that. Did I do something wrong? Sometimes sometimes you do things wrong. You just got to look at it. I'm going to enlarge and I'm going to embiggen this here. Okay, yeah, so that part goes in the lock in place. So this is going to go like, it slides under this. So like that. Yeah. Okay. Kind of like that. Boy, this really doesn't feel good when I'm putting this in. Yeah, and that's going to fit on top of it. Yeah, this really feels bad. I mean, there's going to be a top part that goes and locks into place, but this does feel pretty bad. Okay. I think I figured out what I need to do with it, but I still don't know how to get that clear piece in. And that clear piece is going to have a sticker on it. But it's kind of going to look this, and that clear piece is going to go above it into there, kind of. You can't really see that, but trust me. Maybe it has to do... Sorry, everybody. This is taking a little while, and I apologize for that, because I'm not. Sometimes I'm just a little unsure of what I need to do with a part here, and even though I said it's nice because this is a big piece of our instruction book is big, it's not always the clearest thing in the world. I'm going to see how this looks without the clear piece. And I'm going to put the other part on top of it and see how it looks together. Because I might just skip this. Let's find B19. We'll just see. So from the world, we were talking about streaming and stuff. From the world of Twitch, we previously mentioned earlier this week, the information came out that starting on yesterday, the 15th. Let me find this piece here. B19. Starting on the 15th, Argentina, Italy, Japan, Spain, Mexico, and Taiwan started. It's available that they can get payouts at $50 instead of $100. For those unaware, as a rule, Twitch does a payout when you hit the $100 threshold, and that is from ads, that is for affiliates and partners, and that is from subscriptions, which include Prime subscriptions and Cash Money subscriptions. That includes all forms of payout with the exception of wire transfers, which is still the $100 threshold. There has been some thought that perhaps this is due to certain countries like saying that, hey, you can't enforce a threshold like that. You can't withhold money from people. That's certainly a possibility of why suddenly people were like, hey, what are you talking, and suddenly they're doing it. But they're believed that it will start including other countries sooner than later, which might include this country as well, which would be neat. All right, so yeah, this piece just doesn't want to fit in right. And then I couldn't ever get this piece to go on correctly. Never do it right. But I don't know. I feel weird about it because I'm trying to get this piece to fit in, and it just never wants to. And I was like, am I doing this right? It should rest like above it, but there's no place for that to go if it did that. Like there's no above it on this piece. Because this is A30, right? I mean, it's the only... um, this isn't the right part. You know why it wasn't working? Is because this is either an accent for the waist, or it's possible this is the waist accent piece, or this is from a previous kit and it's just included. I grabbed this thinking this was the V-fin. This is the V-fin. So sometimes it's because you're not understanding what is being asked of you, and sometimes it's because you just fucking got the wrong goddamn part. If a piece just doesn't fit right and it feels weird that it doesn't fit right, it's possible that's because you got the wrong part, Pat. Pat Baer. Maybe you just fucked up, Pat, and you just like did it wrong. Jesus. So let me try to get this piece on correctly now. Now that I have the right goddamn part. Unbelievable. Let me see if I can find how it connects. Connect it. More Twitch stuff. So, Twitch will introduce the ability to pin favorite 3 channels on their channel sidebar. This is for everybody. So you can have some of your favorites and you can pin your favorites, even if they're streaming or not. You can just see. That is neat. So that is for everybody on the sidebar, and that is cool. Twitch will be launching pinned chat sometime soon. Streamers, and I assume also moderators will be able to pin chat messages. So you could pin like the what you're playing sign, you know, like or you can be like now playing whatever, and then you could pin that so it shows up. So people who ask like, hey, what is this? Will just just see the answer. All right, so that's how the piece goes in, but how does it fit in? Also, Twitch will update raid functionality to give you better control of who can raid you. And the limits, basically, you can require account age, and that's not the age of the person who has the account. It's how old is the account. So, like, you can be like, it has to be an account that's existed for 6 months. Can't get raided by somebody who has existed for like a day or a week. Which is very helpful. All right, I finally got that part on because I got it on the right goddamn part. Now I can put the sticker on, which is these are not mentioned by numbers. You got to look for the symbol, but that's pretty easy to follow on. So that's this symbol. Great. We'll get the sticker on there. Yeah. It would have to be this one because that's next to the eye sticker. Let's see. You can require baseline viewership. So you can also be like, hey, if you only have one person watching you, you can't raid me. Which I would probably disable because I have had people who've only had a few folks, raid. And I think that would be a shame if you can do that. But also, I would definitely do account age. Further limits include partners, affiliates, subscribers, channels you follow, auto host list, and teammates. So a lot of people who like, there's no in between. If you would like for some people to raid you, there's a little bit of functionality, but not enough functionality for folks that are looking to really limit who can raid them for their own protection. So I think that's rad. I would probably only just do age of the how long they've been a streamer, or the stream has existed. I think I would do that more than anything else. I think other things I don't need to restrict, but then I am in a privileged position because of that. So it's easy for me to say that. But for other people, they can be more strict about it. And they can really, figure out who they want rating them, which is cool. That sounds like it really help against hate rates. Yes, Ghostfowl. These are things that I would have loved Twitch to do a year ago, 2 years ago, but the fact that they're doing it at all is good. So you do want to say good job, even if you wish that it had been happening sooner rather than now. But these are good things that will hopefully help. I mean, that's also the thing of like, you have to have your email or phone, attached to be able to post, those things. There are small little things that they've been doing throughout that have been helpful, and this is like clearly very helpful as far as reducing the harm of hate raids. Just making it like, even just like I said, the account age will go a long way to restricting people and making it harder for them to raid, because it'll just be like, oh, I'll just start a new account and then have all of my nonsense people I know from my life follow this new account, and then we'll go raid people because my old account is blocked, so we can't. But it'll be like, no, it's going to be harder to do that, and that's cool. I think that's good. So yeah, some good announcements for Twitch about that. And then the pin stuff is just like quality of life stuff. It's just nice to have. You know what I mean? I'm going to zoom in a little bit here, I think. Let's get in there a little bit more. Those are just nice things to have, I think. Here. The idea that you can just like have pin, like it's basically like, yeah, pin message that people can see at the top. I think that's good. I think that'll be helpful. All right, we finished the head, we finished the chest. It's time to move on to the arms. And are these two at a time? No, this is build all of one arm and then build all of the other. None of this like do it at the same time shenanigans. We're doing one and one. So let's move on to the arm. And then I want to, hey, I'm going to straight up, I'm going to rant a little bit because I'm annoyed with wrestling right now, specifically WWE. Because I've been watching SmackDown for like the past like 5 months with people. I mentioned I do have a crew of people. We're in a Discord and we watch and we talk to each other. And SmackDown is 2 hours on a Friday, and it's got some really good wrestlers, and some of those wrestlers appear on television. Last night there were 5 scheduled matches. Only 4 of them happened. One match was supposed to happen, and then for angle reasons, they're doing an angle. There was a video recap about one of the wrestlers, and then she cut a promo that was basically the same thing that she said in her in the video package, and then she walked off. So we didn't have a match. So Lacey Evans just cut a promo and then left. And Aaliyah was in the ring in her wrestling gear and didn't wrestle. And I was just like, oh, that's awful. So there were only 4 wrestling matches on a 2-hour show. And you say, Pat, what happened to all the other wrestlers? Well, some of them weren't there. And some other wrestlers were in angles where they didn't wrestle. There were 6 men who were in a long, protracted program that didn't wrestle each other. And then there was a tag team match and a singles match that happened only for local folks. That was they called dark matches. We didn't get to see them. That would have been exciting. That would have been fun. Nope, didn't get to see that. We don't get those matches. And then after the show, there was another match that again we did not get to see. And it's fun to have dark matches. Those are fun things. But like, come on, there are wrestlers on this show. Have them wrestle. It's very frustrating as someone that wants to watch wrestling on his wrestling show. Now, I understand sports entertainment, but I was not sports entertained. And a big part of my sports entertainment enjoyment is professional wrestling. It's the wrestling portion. I like when wrestlers wrestle, and we didn't get that. Lashbrook says, so the week before I saw someone say that Eddie versus Takeshita match on Rampage was longer than all the wrestling on the SmackDown combined, and couldn't fathom until you were talking about there being 4 matches on the show. Yeah. So I don't know if that's actually true. I haven't done the math. I haven't I have a time, I don't have a stopwatch, but I would believe it. Rampage is, by the way, Rampage is an hour, and it features 3 to 4 matches in that hour, and some promos and all of that. So the direct comparison between the two isn't like, it's not the same thing, but also it's in an hour. and they have matches. They have things happen. This show was like kind of promoting SummerSlam, but not really promoting SummerSlam, and it was frustrating. The word I would use for it is frustrating. I should also say the thing where there was a video package of Lacey Evans, and then there was a promo from Lacey Evans, and then she walked away. There was an in-ring promo before that, and then a backstage promo with other people. So a good chunk of 1 hour of SmackDown was in-ring promo about somebody who was not there, backstage promo that didn't matter because that person wasn't going to wrestle, then a video package, and then a live segment, and then it didn't end with a match. And it's just, okay. It's frustrating because there are very good wrestlers on SmackDown. And also, the main event was fucking good. It was Angelo Dawkins versus one of the Usos. I apologize, I forget which Uso. I believe it was Jimmy. But I'm putting the caveat there because I can't remember. And it was a fucking banger of a match. It was really solid. Also, the Usos and the Street Profits at SummerSlam, their special guest referee is going to be Jeff Jarrett, which, who the fuck? I mean, it's because it's in Memphis, and that's like that's a hometown thing. But like, no, that's not. Nobody cares that Jeff Jarrett. It's like, it has nothing to do with the storyline. It doesn't mean anything. It's just like, it's just a real cheap pop. He's an employee there. He was already going to be there. And they're like, they did like a video package about it. It's just like, nah, come on, no. It's bad. It's bad. But yeah, so I might be done watching SmackDown. I mean, we'll see next week if I end up wanting to watch it. I get the highlights of Raw, and I get the first 45 to 50 minutes of Dynamite, and then the highlights of the rest of it. And then I watch Rampage every week, and that might be it. I occasionally watch Dark and Dark Elevation. Those are on a match-by-match basis. If the wrestlers I like who don't show up enough on AEW television end up doing that, like Dark Order, for instance, although they were in competition last night, but like Dark Order, people that I want to kind of see, like there are wrestlers that are in there that I want to check out. So I will watch their 2 YouTube shows, even if I don't think that Paul White is a good announcer. I'll still watch it. Oh, he's not a good announcer. The Big Show is not great at that, but whatever. It's fine. AEW is not without its faults, i.e. the women's division, or lack thereof, a focus on the women's division. But like there, there's no storyline in the women's division that doesn't involve a belt. And there are 3 belts if you include the Ring of Honor title. There are 3 belts. But every storyline is about one of those belts. Hell, there's not a storyline for Thunder Rosa right now. She doesn't have anything. She doesn't have any of it. There are no, like, there's nothing for her right now. There's a storyline for a bunch of people that want to face Jade, and then there's Martinez and Deeb fighting it out for the Ring of Honor title, and that's it. There are a few other women involved in some storylines, like Ruby got hurt for Eddie's storyline, but she got hurt, so it's not like they're going to be like mixed tag matches that she's involved in, and that's it for the women, for any woman. I would say the woman that has the most to do in wrestling right now for AEW is Julia Hart, because she's in House of Black and at least talks in promos. Because for all of the unbelievably high amount of factions in AEW, there's only a few that have men and women on them. Dark Order and House of Black are the only factions that have men and women. Which is weird. It's weird. The baddies, there's some women in that, obviously, is a staple of ladies. But, so I guess you could argue that the baddies involve Stokely, so that is a mixed gender group, but it's a little frustrating. And by a little frustrating, I mean it's fucking very frustrating, and I want it to be better. I would love it to be better, because I like wrestling. I want my wrestling to be good and fulfilling. And I have people who make it enjoy what they're doing. And I want like high-flying cool shit, but also stuff that like is fun. I don't mind funny, because you know me, I like funny. I like my comedy and my wrestling. I don't need it, but I like it quite a bit. So when I get to see that, that's good shit too. Ugh. So yeah, I think I might be done with SmackDown, because I think it's a bad time, and I don't need to be here for a bad time. I want to be here for a good time and a long time. So that's my big not announcement. What if I just stopped watching SmackDown because it makes me unhappy? And then I'll watch highlights of like oh, Sami Zayn's going to be in a match? Sure, I'll watch that. Drew Gulak is actually on television? Great. I don't know how and why he became friends with Ricochet, but he's friends with Ricochet and they're tagging. Excellent. I'll watch that. Maximum Male Models is a thing? All right, fine. I'll see what nonsense they're coming up with. Will those wrestlers ever wrestle in that stable? Probably not for a long time, but sure, I'll tune in. You know, I'll just kind of do it like that. Who are the Usos wrestling tonight? Okay, let me check that shit out. Like, you know, I'll just kind of treat it like I'm checking in, not like I'm watching and feeling bad about what I'm watching, because that is just not something that I would like to continue to do. There we go. So this is going to go like this. Okay. We're working on an arm here. Working on the right arm, I believe. Get this arm going. We got to put some polycaps on this. So we'll do that. Let's see. Are there... second hour, obviously, we're going to talk about anime. Let's see. What else can I talk about? I did some yard work today. A little bit here. Finishing up some stuff. Went to the dump over in this neighborhood. Sanitation. You can pay to have sanitation crews come and pick stuff up, or you can, for free, take it to the local recycling and trash place, which is just a big empty lot filled with dumpsters and variety of different kinds of dumpsters and people working there. And you just bring all your stuff and you just go to different stations. You bring your recycling to one and your, different kinds of recycling, and your lawn stuff to another, and your kitchen trash to a different one. And you just go, and there's big spots for like large item, like weird bulk items that you're recycling. Like there's a whole thing for TVs and monitors. Like it's a whole, it's a whole thing. We just go there. I went there today to throw away a bunch of variety of trash. I got a ladder yesterday, climb up and clean some stuff. That was fun. Is a way to describe how that went. Because we got palm trees, and sometimes you gotta chop down the growths on the palm trees because otherwise they will flower, and then those things stink. Some of their flowers really stink on this palm, so you got to go and take care of business, clean that shit up, so you don't deal with it later. The things like that, little things that your friend Pat had to do today. That was okay, but otherwise, mostly fine. Other things. I checked out Power Washing Simulator, or Power Wash Simulator, I should say, Power Wash Simulator 1.0. I opened it up, logged in, got a few achievements right off the bat. Those are mostly from like I bought everything, that kind of thing. Like unlocked a bunch of things. But I don't have a lot of achievements, which I don't care about achievements, so it's fine. I was like, whatever. And then I opened up the final stage, the final location, and started a little bit of it. But I just wanted to get a sense of it, and then we will continue when we do that on Wednesday, because we'll go in and see what's up. So that's coming on Wednesday, so get ready for that. That'll be fun. Last Call BBS. I played Last Call BBS yesterday and completed, I tweeted about it, I completed the last of the 3 model kits in Steed Force. So I did that. I was happy to, let's see, this is the higher one goes there. Okay, higher one goes there. Smaller goes like this. Got it. And then, yeah, so this goes like this. I finished Dungeons and Diagrams puzzle. So good. Nice. Yeah. I was happy to finish up the model kit thing. I would love to. I mean, honestly, I would just love to do more of that. That was really fun. I really enjoyed it. I would love to do more of that shit because it was just really clever and cool. But I don't expect them to do more of those. But I would assemble and paint more of those because that was really fun. All right, got an arm mostly done here. We're mostly done. We'll paint align this then to the hand. So we did the shoulder a little bit. The arm doesn't take much to panel line here. There's not a lot to it. Just like over here. Not a lot of panels on this kit, which is fine. Because this kit's really all about the hat. All about the hat / backpack. That's the big focus is that. So that's fine. Other stuff. There were a couple mods that I wanted to check out in Fallout 4. So I booted Fallout 4 up again. Because I hadn't booted that in a while. But there's... I've been talking about this before. People have been painstakingly trying to recreate Fallout 3 in Fallout 4 pretty recently. So I checked out some of their progress in that, and that is not Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas. Fallout 3 they did a while ago. This is people trying to put New Vegas locations within the Fallout 4 maps, and that has been pretty fun to mess around with that and putting locations that if there was a new version of New Vegas with the 4 engine, well, there would be crafting, right? And there would be there would be crafting, but there would be you'd be able to do settlement building. There'd be workshop support. So what would that look like in the game? So it's people imagining that and what locations would those be? And that's been pretty fun to check out. So I've been doing that. I guess I'll ask y'all folks, what are you watching? What are you playing right now? What are you up into? What's got your attention out there? Let me know, because this is a good time for us to chat about that. Because we're going to talk about anime in the second hour. But right now, I could hear from you about what y'all are into, what y'all are up to. It's always nice to hear. I don't have anything on the horizon that I'm super amped for other than Power Wash Simulator on Wednesday. I'm going to do that. We're going to stream that. That'll be good. I just got to look up and see what's on PC Game Pass because I have that and I should be using it. I will say this. I'm not particularly excited about the upcoming, August expansion for, it feels like a little bit of a dud for Hearthstone. The Hearthstone expansion feels a bit like a dud to me. There haven't been really... Most of the cards that were revealed haven't really got me going. I don't really care about the new keywords at all. They don't seem interesting to me. But there's going to be some cards that make some new Evolve cards for Evolve Shaman, and Evolve Shaman is my favorite archetype in Hearthstone. So if I'm going to get a standard evolved deck or new cards for my wild evolved deck, that sounds pretty good. I'll fucking get in on that. So I guess I am excited about that. The possibilities of that sound pretty good to me. Um, let's see what we got here. We got having a chill time hanging out in Final Fantasy 14. Nice, enjoy that. Today I built a Motoroid from Ray Earth. Nice kit. Took about 3 hours. Ooh, I've never built a Ray Earth kit. That sounds fun. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Watched Tenacon this afternoon. Pretty stoked about crossplay, friends and family starting up soon. Nice. Not that I'm a friend or family, but it does significantly progress towards being able to play Warframe on the same account across all platforms. Oh yeah, Warframe stuff, right? Yeah, a bunch of Warframe. I have there is somebody that I follow on Twitter who is a VTuber that builds model kits and plays Warframe, and so she was tweeting a lot about that shit. Let's see. Finally tried Power Wash Simulator last night. I'm super grateful for the aim mode toggle and the ability to turn water sounds down. Yes, Lashbrook, turning water sounds down is very helpful. Also, being able to toggle it on and off, and then it seems controller support is still not quite right. Fan finished AI the Somnium Files. I immediately picked up the sequel. Hell yeah, that's such a good feeling when you finish something and you're like, hey, what if I just did more of this? And you can. That's so good. Finally into Sunbeak for month. Oh, I didn't understand, Ghost Valve, what you said there, because you wrote finally into Sunbreak for Monhun, and my brain read that as like Monday, huh? Like you were like talking to me about how I finally got into Sunbreak, and I was like, no, I didn't. And I was like, oh wait, no, Monster Hunter, Monhun. I know words. I understand things. I can adapt to language. Sure. Yeah, you're psyched about Monster Hunter because you're in the Sunbreak. Hell yeah. Good for you. That sounds cool. It took me a second there, but I did get it. Yeah, I gotta see what's going on with because I got a deal where I'm paying $1 for a few each month for a few months there for PC Game Pass, and I gotta use that. I used it for Last Call BBS, and I'm psyched I did because that was fun. But I'm pretty done with Last Call BBS, and now I gotta see what else is on there that I want to play. Obviously, I have Power Washing Simulator. I paid for that in early access, so I don't have to worry about that. We might do there might be a Wednesday where I just play a couple different things and do a just PC Game Pass exploration, that kind of thing. That might just be a Wednesday in August that I do. My Wednesdays in July are good because next week is Power Wash Simulator, and the following week is Pokemon Platinum Randomizer, The Return. I don't remember where we left off, but we are going to return to Pokemon Platinum Randomizer because I haven't done that in 2 months, maybe 3 months, and I want to. Speaking of Power Wash Simulator, I booted up the other day and popped in the campaign. My subway station I was working on suddenly went from 78% to complete with no warning. Dirty. That is definitely a glitch. That is weird. Yeah, that's a weird thing. But it seems like some people had some weird shenanigans when it went from the update went through. Yeah. I'm literally waiting for the email to buy my Steam Deck. Ooh, nice, Arctic Sloth. Well, good luck to that. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I hope you get that email soon and you can get your Steam Deck. All right, we'll panel line this shoulder piece here, and then we're going to continue on with the head, but we'll take a pause for the cause, which is a thing where I stop talking about the model kit I'm building and start talking about ways you can support the channel and go through all that. You knew it was coming because you know what the deal is. You already knew. Let's get some gray here on our white, and then we'll continue. We'll talk about ways to support channel and all that other stuff, and some links to some videos, all them things, and then anime talks. I got 3 shows to talk about. So we'll get into some anime talk after that. All right, that's it. Now we just gotta hit the eraser, and then we'll be done with that shoulder and ready to move on to the rest of the arm. The bulk of this kit really is just the shoulder. The backpack part is like the biggest part of this kit. It's pretty straightforward otherwise, the Raphael. Anyway, we're going to take a momentary pause for the cause. Go over here. I'll talk about ways you can support the channel. First and foremost, hi. If you've never been to a stream before, this is the part of the stream, my stream I should say, where I talk about ways you can support what I do here. All of the things I'm going to talk about here are optional. You don't have to do any of these things, but if you would like to do it, you're more than welcome to. First and foremost, Dirty, I'll just answer this. I'm looking to buy a house. Would you go for a large interior or a larger front yard? Dirty, I don't enjoy yard work, so I would say larger interior. Other people enjoy working outside, or they enjoy paying people to work outside. People are throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, and the Tier 2 emote. Thank you to all our subscribers for throwing emotes in there. So yeah, Dirty, for me, bigger inside because I don't care about the outside. But for other people, it's important. Throwing those emotes in, thank you very much. Subscribing is the easiest way to support what I do. I'm currently at 40 subscribers out of 45, trying to get to that big 4 or 5. If you would like to become a subscriber, you use Cash Money, you could use your Prime Gaming token, or you could gift a sub to somebody in the community. Aristofan gifted 5 subs. Aristofan is alone on the gift sub leaderboard. A gifted sub from you would put you on the leaderboard. Anonymously, or wouldn't be on the leaderboard, but you could do it anonymously. Harold gifted 25 bits to me. Bits and coins are also appreciated. You could do that if you want to support me via Twitch. But there are other ways to support what I do here that don't involve Twitch. And we'll go through those. Again, all these things are optional, but they'll be beneficial to me and to the greater good of me doing these streams. I have a Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1, $3, $5, $10 tier. Different rewards for the different tiers. Take a look. See if there's something that you would like to do there. And then let me know if you want to jump in by becoming a patron. Also, I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. Obviously, subscribing to my YouTube is free, and you should do that if you haven't already, because my videos are good. Got a new video coming out on Monday that you'll like, so do that. But also, there's a membership, and if you want to see my Wednesday videos on Tuesday, $2 a month lets you do that. Jump on board on my YouTube. That would be nice. But definitely subscribe if you haven't. Even if you don't turn your notifications on, you never click on a video, subscribing isn't easy on YouTube. It's easy and free and helps me. So you can do that over on my YouTube. So we got that. Oh, also, hey, those are 3 monthly ways to support me. And I understand that is not for everybody. Not everybody wants to do monthly things. They just want to, on occasion, help me out. And I understand that. What about a direct donation once in a while? I've got a coffee and directly on PayPal or Stream Elements. You could do that. And every dime that I make from direct donations, YouTube, which also includes AdSense, Patreon, and Twitch, all goes into a fund. I take money of that and I buy model kits. This Raphael Gundam, weirdly, cost a bunch of money. It cost quite a bit of money to get this, a kit from 2010. And I was able to buy it because of your generous support. So thank you very much for that. Also, I have a backlog of model kits that I'd be happy to build, and I'm looking forward to building them. But those take a back seat if someone buys something off my Amazon wishlist. If you buy anything from my wishlist, it jumps the queue and becomes the next thing I build. I also make a dedicated YouTube video about the kit that you purchased, talk about it, hype it up, give you a thank you if you included a note. There's Lego sets there, inexpensive, like tiny little kits, some bigger kits that cost more money, some 3-in-1s, some cars. There's some high grades. Hey, there's the Star Build Strike Gundam, which is a cool looking kit, is currently at $30, which for a high grade on Amazon is a good deal. So maybe get that. Maybe that's something that you would like to get me, and I'll build it. You include a note, it jumps the queue. I do want to say that I do have something coming. There's some equipment towards the bottom, including like a stand for my third monitor that was separate from my regular stand, so I can stop using a TV as my third monitor and use an actual TV, actual computer monitor. There's a stand there. Somebody, I don't know who, I put up a brand new kit today, and then they immediately, like within an hour of me putting this kit up on the wish list, it got purchased by somebody. And I'm gonna build a Digimon. I don't know when it'll arrive, sometime next week, but Magnamon, the Figure-Rise Magnamon kit. Magnamon is basically wearing armor, and it's kind of a mech. It's not really a mech, but it's gold armor. But I'm gonna build a Digimon because somebody bought me a Digimon model kit. I can't wait to find out who did that. But yeah, I've got an Amazon wish list. You buy something from there. It could be equipment or it could be a kit. If it's a kit, it jumps the queue. So like the next thing I build after the Raphael is gonna be that Digimon, which is fun. You could buy a gift card to USA. Yes, a digital monster, indeed. You could buy a gift card to USA Gundam Store, then send me a DM on Twitter because my DMs are open with that gift card code. Or you could go to Throne. I have a small curated wish list on Throne. I haven't checked that in a little while, but you can do that. No one has ever bought anything. People said, Pat, what if you didn't have an Amazon wish list? And so I have included an alternative to Amazon. And no one has ever bought anything from me from Throne. It is okay that they haven't. I'm just saying I have it specifically because I wanted to have an alternative to Amazon. And now I have it. And people have never purchased anything on there. And it's okay. Thank you to everyone that's ever bought me anything at any time. If you were a subscriber for 1 month, thank you so much. If you've ever bought me anything off my wish list, thank you so much. I genuinely appreciate it. If you're not on my Discord, get on my fucking Discord. We're going to get back to building in just a moment. I don't know why I swore there, but I did. I got a Discord. It's a nice little place. People post stuff they think I'll be interested in. Sometimes people post stuff about stuff they're interested in or build photos of kits they're working on, and it's very cool. And I get to see stuff and go, I don't know what the fuck that is, but that looks neat. Or, oh yeah, I built that before. Cool. Very fun and enjoyable. A couple video links. Pat Bear's Anime Club. I have a new video coming out on Monday. But if you missed my previous one, it was from a live stream where I talked about the spring anime season and the current summer anime season. It was a review of the spring and a preview of the summer. So check that out. And then Do You Remembaer is an ongoing video series where every week I read an article on the internet, often Wikipedia, always Wikipedia, and then I try to remember what I read and describe it in a informative and maybe educational and maybe entertaining manner. And this one's about sliced bread. The idea of a machine that mechanically slices bread for sale instead of you doing it by hand from a big loaf. And the process of that and the person that developed it and patented it and the various things that came of it. And then I tell the reason why I decided to research that, which is I had been reminded of an old joke that involves sliced bread and the Coney Island Cyclone by Kumail Nanjiani. So I kind of tell the joke, but not as well as he did from many, many years ago. Because sometimes old jokes that friends of mine told stick in my fucking head and I can't escape them. So then they just live in my brain. Like the Mike Birbiglia line, what I should have said was nothing. Now, I can't remember what the rest of that joke is, except that at one point, Mike Birbiglia was telling a joke, and in the joke, he says the line, now what I should have said was nothing. I think it's about a woman dragging a mattress into an apartment building, and then he says something terrible, but they're like, accidentally, or he shouldn't have said that. But the line, what I should have said was nothing, comes to my head about once a week. Anyway, I'm going to drink a little water. We're going to get back to building. I'm going to talk about some anime. I got 3 anime shows to talk to you about while I drink some H2O. But to do that, I'm going to dramatically transition. Here we go. Transition. And also, Lord Crashington wants me to dance, which I will. Here's the dance button. Here we go. Hey, Lord Crashington. Thanks for hitting the dance button there. Nice to have you here. We're going to talk about some anime. And then I'm going to continue to work on the other arm of this model kit, the Raphael. We're getting there on this kit. So let's talk anime. I got 3 shows to talk to you about. Phantom of the Idol, Episode 3. The weirdest show, the weirdest premise of any show that I'm watching this season is Phantom of the Idol. If you're just tuning in and you don't know what that is, it is a show about an idol duo. They're called Zings. And one of the members doesn't want to be an idol and is real lazy about it and is just kind of like going through the motions, is probably going to get fired. And then his name is Yuya, and he meets Asahi, who is a ghost. Why can he see her and no one else can? We don't know, but he can. He can see this goddamn ghost, and she is she died in an accident. She is a former idol who passed away, who has unfinished business, which is she loves being an idol and wants to keep being an idol. And the best way to do that is just to hang out. Turns out she can possess him. He does not want to be an idol. She wants to do that, so she takes possession of him. Now, suddenly he is a good idol, and it's weird for people. People are freaked out by the fact that he is suddenly doing a good job. Because it doesn't make any sense. Why is he suddenly good at it? Why does he suddenly give a shit? It don't make no sense. This is 28 and 29. Okay, I gotta put that there, and then those go there. All right. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. I gotta look down here, friends. Gotta look down here. Anyway, so she's been helping him out. In this episode, there's going to be a photo shoot, but it's going to be a casual photo shoot of the 2 guys, of our main 2 dudes. The problem is, nobody really knows what Yuya's gimmick is. Like, he doesn't really have a gimmick in there. Like, he doesn't have like a persona or like, his personality is, I like to sleep 14 hours a day if I can. This kit looks like when you're done with the body, you're only halfway done with that headpiece. Yes. Lord Crashington, most of this kit is the shoulder backpack. Indeed. This will be a longer than normal high-grade build. Because even though this is coming together pretty easy, the rest of it is going to be a bit challenging. Or just like, there'll be a lot to do. Anyway, so they're like, okay, well, we know that your partner, Yoshino, has like a little brother vibe. Like, he likes cute things, and he's like, he's the sweetheart in the group, and people are like happy with that, and that'll be fine. But what the fuck is your deal? Well, let's think of something. And I don't understand why. The thing they think up is the only thing that they can like kind of piece together of him was he did have 8th grade syndrome. 8th grade syndrome is a phenomenon where it's just that, like, the best way I can describe it is, what if a D&D nerd wanted to be a goth? Because they're not really goths because they're nerds, so they're not cool, but they still, like, believe in, like, magic, and, like, sometimes they wear an eye patch, and it's this, like, phenomenon that is popularized in anime and manga, the 8th grade syndrome. So that's like the best thing I can describe him. Like he has an eye patch and like he's like wearing a wing and he's just like speaking weird. And they're like, this is the best thing we can do. And it doesn't work. And in fact, the manager like passes out. Anyway, Asahi's interested. She's like, hey, I don't really know much about Yoshino, your partner. I should know stuff about him. You should know stuff about him. Why the fuck, shouldn't say fuck. Why don't you know anything about your partner? Because they were paired together. And so they like hang out so they can learn about each other. And they end up going to a dessert and coffee cafe that looks like it caters exclusively to ladies. It's the kind of place where you get expensive coffee and also like a giant parfait, that kind of a place. And we do learn about Yoshino a little bit. But also the funniest part in this whole episode, the best part in the whole episode, in my opinion, is the moment where Yoshino, Yuya posts to social media. He takes a photo of the parfait he's eating because he doesn't post to social media. So everyone thinks that, like, his diehard fans think his account got hacked. They're like, what's going on? And then a couple people show up and we find out Yoshino has been nervous because he doesn't know if he's cut out to be an idol. And like, part of the thing that's happening is our boy, Yuya has been changing. He's been growing. He's become more mature. He hasn't at all, but it appears he has because he has been occasionally taken over by Asahi. So it appears like he is acting more mature. Instead, he's just being possessed consistently, which is different. It's a different thing. It's not the same. So anyway, but also Yoshino feels like I need to improve too. So, and he does say part of the thing that is great is that like Yuya is true to himself, which is accurate. It's a nice way of saying that really he's just kind of a jerk. Anyway, Asahi apologized for messing up Yuya's day. And then there's a new closing song. Basically, every episode had a different closing song, which makes sense because it's an idol group. And this song is the two main characters in matching 8th grade syndrome outfits. And they're singing like a hardish rock song. But it's still not that hard because they are, of course, a idol group. And it's pretty good. I mean, they hired voice actors that can sing, which makes sense. You want to do that. And yeah, again, this is the second idol show that I've been interested in. The first idol show that I was ever interested in was Zombieland Saga, because it's an idol show about zombies. And this one is, an idol show about a guy who gets possessed by an idol. So, they're weird. They're weird. Turns out I like an idol show if it's fucking weird and has a strange premise. All right, let's talk about Teppen, Laughing Till You Cry. You may remember that I did not review episode 2 of Teppen, Laughing Till You Cry, because that episode didn't fucking happen last week. Because apparently there's a plot line in episode 2 of Teppen, Laughing Till You Cry, where there is an assassination attempt or an assassination order, and it's played for laughs, but also came out last week where there was a high-profile assassination of a public political figure. Lashbrook, so it's all but confirmed. There have been write-ups about it. The preview of the episode, which came out like the day before, talked about an assassination in the preview. And then apparently once the preview hit, people were like, and then it got pulled. Because or it might have been they were planning to pull it anyway, and maybe the preview wasn't supposed to come out. But anyway, as far as we can tell, yeah, that's what episode 2 was. Now, there's no indication of when episode 2 is going to air again. It's there's not like a major plot. There's a plot to this thing, but it is pretty episodic. So, I guess I could read the manga for Teppen and find out what happened in the manga. And I might try to track that down. I don't know if there's been an English release. I don't think there's a scanlation release of it. Also, I should say what Teppen opening act is, or sorry, it's not opening act. Teppen Laughing Till You Cry. It is a show about girls who are in Manza groups, which is a stand-up comedy form. Trio Manza is not necessarily a popular thing, but it is in this world. In their world, the 3-person comedy trio is popular. So popular that there are young ladies who are competing in a contest across the country. And there are 5 groups of girls in this dorm, and you have shows, and if your set it doesn't go well, you get eliminated. And you can't live in the dorm anymore, you're out of the competition. So this show has 15 main characters, which is too many main characters. Now, before we get into today's episode, I should tell you that I did a little research to find out why is this happening? Why are there so many girls? What's going on? So apparently, it's based on a manga. The manga is based on a bit, how do I describe this? 3 idols, voice actors, who met on and worked on another anime project. When that project ended, they started posting on YouTube comedy routines with the 3 of them as the characters in the fictional comedy group Young YY. And they're the people that were producing that are their talent agency, developed the manga based on the characters they were playing in this fictional stand-up group. And that manga came out last year, and so the anime was being worked on. And then the manga just came out first to hype the anime instead of it, so that was really interesting to me, that this is like a anime based on a manga based on a YouTube series of 3 voice actresses doing the characters of young girls interested in being comedians. So that's the backstory of Teppen. Will episode 2 ever come out? Who knows? But also, that context will explain why they're the main girls, and also why, at the end of episode 3, for some reason, even though they weren't really involved with anything else, the 3 girls in Young YY sing a song on a variety show. The reason why they sing the song is because those voice actresses have been linked for a little long time. It makes sense that they would do a song. The song they sing is something that was released for a different project. It all ties in together. Anyway, there's also a Teppen fighting series, so it could clog some results. Yes, Teppen, several exclamation points, is the manga. It's to the top. Teppen means to the top. You're rising to the top. It's the Teppen tournament, in this case for jokes. So anyway, here's episode 3. We've got Bullet Kunonichi, which I didn't know if it meant like Bullet Girl. In this case, it does mean Bullet Ninja. Or Crash, that's good. Because I was confused what this meant previously. I do now know that this means Konichi meaning ninja. So these are bullet ninjas. They're fast-paced comedy ninjas is what they're going with. So that's one of the groups. They're the comedy ninjas. They're fast. And they begin their set. And we learned this in episode 1. How the episode structure works, at least right now. The episode structure is a trio gets up there and sets up the premise of a joke, like a story they're going to tell, their set. And then we see the real-life events that led to them telling the joke. So in this case, it's talking about jobs. And then we flash back to the actual event of the anime, which in this case is a weightlifting competition between one member of each of the 5 groups, because the 2 winning groups are going to be on a variety show. There's a variety show called Girls, Girls, Girls. And the winning groups are going to be able to go on that variety show, which will be good for them. It'll help build their brands and all that. It is an essential element of comedy groups and music groups and idol groups and all that other stuff to do those kinds of those kinds of shows. Those variety shows, brief explanation. There are a bunch of different kinds. This one is the people doing stunts and having punishment games. And the girls are like, great, I'll be punished, and then I get to react to the events, and it'll be very funny because I will like fall in mud, and then I will have a comical reaction to falling in mud, and people will be charmed by me. That is the belief among the girls about like what they're going to be doing there. The 2 groups that win are Bullet Konichi, and there's a weird thing where one member is being interviewed, but not all 3 of them, just one member. And there's some weird tension going on in there that we'll learn more about soon. And the other group that gets to go is, Akadare Kingdom. Again, I don't know what Akadare Kingdom means. They're all girls from Ibaraki, which is like the boonies. It's like a part of Japan that has like, it's just like, they have it seems like from the context of this anime that people from that region have a chip on their shoulder, and also they have, I don't know, they have a poor like feelings about themselves. I don't know. They're just kind of like, they feel weird about it. So anyway, their gimmick is that they talk a lot about where they're from, which is this region. And they try to have pride in it, but they also like, I don't know, there's a weird thing where they're just kind of like self-deprecating about where they're from. And they have an issue because Girls, Girls, Girls is replacing a drama, the reruns of a drama that are very popular where they're from, and is one of the only things about their region in Japanese popular culture. So they're like, we got to win this competition so we can like talk about how we got, like people need to rally and fight this show. The show that we are a guest on. We got to fight the power of the show we're a guest on. Anyway, turns out the producer of Girls, 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 he just wants a show with beautiful ladies on it. Young ladies. And he feels like he doesn't feel like a sex pervert creep, but he does feel like a dude that like you would warn people like, oh, you don't want to sign with that agency because the dude there is a creep. Like he's got bad vibes. He's just got real bad vibes. And I was just like, nope, this guy sucks. Like, it just feels like this guy sucks. Because the games are very tame and the girls don't. I like this. So you don't really actually see a lot of like them figuring out comedy in this. It's a lot of like, it's a slice of life, not about them getting into comedy. It's not like a slice of life about comedians figuring out comedy, if that makes any sense. It's a comedy about comedians. It is comedy bang bang, not WTF with Mark Maron. I guess that's the way I will say it. So anyway, they're kind of bummed because they don't have anything to react to because they're not actually getting hurt. And then we cut to the Invaders, which is the group that their gimmick is that they are obsessed with aliens, and also we as the audience know that one of their members is actually an alien. The other members don't know that, but they're the group that likes aliens. They are at a professional show, and they see a professional Monza duo, a husband and wife team with 30 years experience, and they're like, oh, we can learn something from them. And then that couple says, hey, our daughter's in this tournament. That's the girl that got interviewed solo from Bullet. And apparently we find out her backstory. She's constantly, like, people just want to talk to her about her parents. Like, oh, well, you're gonna win this competition because you've got it in your blood, huh? And like, oh, it must be nice having like famous parents in comedy, like as if she didn't work hard and her other people didn't work hard. So she's got a chip on her shoulder about that shit, which is understandable. It's understandable she does. But everybody's like, no, we're going to work out. Turns out, our creepy dude, yeah, he's creepy. He doesn't care about comedy. He was just looking for one of these stand-ups to break out as an idol that he can manage and take him to the big time, too. And the girl that he talks is like, no, get the fuck out of here. I'm not in this. There's a paintball fight, which is very weird, which also includes them throwing paintballs instead of using guns. It's very strange. Neither team wins, so neither team can sing at the end. But then young YY shows up. People definitely love having famous parents when they're getting into comedy or acting. Yeah, I mean, it's basically that she's like, look, it's nice that my parents got into a thing. That might be why I got into it. But people just act like the only reason I'm here is because of them and not because like I'm funny. And especially because she's in a trio. It implies that the other people in the group aren't working hard, which pisses her off. But anyway, yeah, young YY were helping out one of their parents, and they just delivered some food, and they sing a song, and that's fine, and that's like the closing song. And then we cut back to the present, because all of the scenes we just saw were apparently, because we don't see it, comedically told by our group. And they get applause, including the girls' parents who were there watching applaud as well. And they don't get kicked out of the house, because if you have a bad stand-up set, you get kicked out, because that's the rule of this show. And yeah, and that's it. This show makes a lot more sense when I found out that it's based on the fictional group that these three voice actresses did and had a YouTube channel about. Like, everything makes a lot more sense now about this show. It still doesn't make any sense why there's so many goddamn girls, other than maybe there's just like, these are all the girls at one talent agency, I guess, and they'll like try to spin off the characters into other media. That's the only thing I can assume, because otherwise, why are there so many goddamn girls in this show? It feels like 15 girls is too many girls. Too many girls. But anyway, I still like the show. I'm gonna keep watching it. It was fun. Someday I'll watch episode 2. Especially because it's probably about girls we haven't, there's still gonna be girls that we haven't really seen much about. So I would like to learn about them. All right, I gotta tell you about the last one. We got one more anime to talk about. I'm sure you're all been dying to hear about episode 2 of Black Summoner. If at any point I call this Black Clover, apologies. They have to reveal the other 15 girls. Yes, there's even more girls that we didn't know about. Because there are other girls that are competing in other houses across Japan. And so at some point, I guess we have to meet some of those other girls, probably. Maybe, whatever. Anyway, there's some stickers I got to put on this kit. Okay, well, we'll put some stickers on here, and then we'll get a move on. Anyway, let's see, I need B16 and 15. So, Black Summoner is about a dude that does not have any memories of his previous life. No, it isn't. Kelvin knows that he was reincarnated. He doesn't know how he died. He doesn't know anything about that. He doesn't have any memories of that because he gave away all his memories in order to have more cool powers. Because he is a summoner and he has like double experience boost and double skills. So when he levels up, he gets more skills. He has experience share, so his he can share it between him and the creature he summoned. He summoned a cool slime named Clotho, just a fun, cute slime friend. And then let's see. Oh, I need B16 and B15. Also, the goddess of reincarnation is just hanging out, waiting for him to be strong enough to summon her, because she's technically his first summon, but he's not strong enough to do it. And he basically professed his love to her upon meeting her, which he doesn't remember, but he's like, okay, I guess. So this episode was Kelvin and Slime, and the Slime Clotho leveling up. And then he's like, I gotta learn concealment, because I gotta make sure people can't see all my skills, because summoning is rare, and especially the quality of his summoning is rare. He's posing as a mage because he doesn't want people to know that he's a summoner, because that will lead to, he's like, I'm trying not to stand out. Now, unfortunately, he became an E rank very quickly. He went from F to E like in record time, and he is standing out. People are like, what's this guy's deal? Why is he so good? He gets the attention of a guy that's been known to harass newbies. We learn later, murdering them. And because he and his cronies figured out that it's safer to ambush and murder low-ranked adventurers than it is to fight monsters. So that's what they've been doing. And so he gets like in a friendly, quote-unquote, friendly competition with this guy. Now, you wouldn't be surprised to know, they whoop those dudes' asses, capture them, get bounties for their capture, all of that. Whoop their asses. One, because they don't realize how good and strong Kelvin is. And two, they don't know he's a summoner, and they don't know he has a slime, Clotho, who is now a Gluttonia. A Gluttonia slime, which is a rare. It's the strongest a slime can be. It's the strongest sub-race of slime. Basically, Clotho can become giant or tiny, depending on its needs. And so it's just a giant, powerful slime, which is fun. Anyway, part of the job was to go and beat up these dudes that are messing with him, and then he finds out later that they have a bounty, and so he's like, oh, cool, I will get money for capturing you. This rules. The other reason is they're on a quest to defeat a Black Ghost Knight. But maybe they won't defeat him so much as summon him, make a partnership with him, because it turns out that this knight is very strong. He's a named monster named Gerard. And Gerard, turns out, they can communicate. He was like, I used to be a human. I don't know when I died. I can't remember how I died. Hey, Spicy, welcome. I'm talking about the anime Black Summoner. He's like, yeah, I don't know when I died. I don't know what happened to me. But I do know that I was a human, and I was a knight. And I've just been hanging out here, fighting people. You're the first person to ever actually talk to me. And then our boy Kelvin's like, cool, you seem very strong. What would you like to become a partner? Would you like to form a contract with me? And I should say, the voice actor, I don't know the name of this voice actor. The voice actor playing Gerard I recognize is like an older Japanese man that does a lot of like Yakuza stuff. He's not in the Yakuza. He does a lot of like playing a mafia person, old man kind of roles. He's just like a kind old man, and I really love that as like a character that's like, yeah, this anime has like a very strong knight, undead knight that is just a kind old man voice. Anyway, I should also point out at this point, Gerard is unfortunately computer generated, CGI. And up until this point, all of the monsters, all of the humans, the backgrounds, everything else has been digital. This is the first time that we have run into a character who is not digital. And it sucks. It doesn't look good. It's weird when he is standing or sitting next to our guy, Kelvin. I posted a photo of this on my Twitter and also on my co-host of that, because it's really annoying looking at it. I'm mad about it. So they fight. Now, my hope is this is the only time we're going to see this, but they did it. Lord Crash did not. No. It's just the mixed media here again. I'm just not thrilled with. I think it's a mistake to do. Did I build this wrong? Yes. How did I build this wrong? Sorry, everybody. I assembled this incorrectly, and now I have to figure out how I did that. This just does not look right, and I think it might be just this piece is on backwards. Because I think if I did... No? Okay. So this has got to look like that. And then this is supposed to... This should... Sorry, everybody. This just doesn't look right and looks weird. It shouldn't be... This should not look the way it does, and I have to figure out why. Anyway, they fight. So we see Kelvin in a CGI model. Kelvin is a digital model, but they did a CGI for the two of them to fight. And I hope we don't see more of this. I hope this is just like it just happened, a circumstance in this instance, and we don't see... Because the other monsters, like I said, have been digital. And I'm hoping that they continue to be digital, and this is just a one-off. But they did go so far as to make a model of Kelvin for this, so that I might be disappointed. Okay, why does this look so bad? This just looks weird. And then this is gonna go in like this. I guess it doesn't look that bad. But it does look like these are all connected, and there's no good way for that to happen. Maybe I put this together weird. I don't know. Sorry, everybody. Especially this is bad because I have two full stickers on here, and to separate these parts, I have to remove the full sticker, both of these full stickers, and I think they're not going to go back on great. So they fight. Clotho gets involved in the fight, and then it's over. And we're like, oh no, he actually killed Gerard. Oh, that sucks. During the fight, though, Gerard has a flashback, and he remembers. The fight awakens his memory, and he remembers what happened in his past. The small kingdom he was a part of was told that they had to help out this other kingdom. And they were like, no. And then... a deadly virus or a spell or something happened, and everyone in the kingdom died, including our dude and his wife and child. So his unfinished business that keeps him on Earth is, and you might have been able to guess even before that, fucking revenge. This dude is on a vengeance kick, and he's like, yeah, I'll serve you if you're going to help me with my revenge. Which, honestly... reasonable. Okay. Yeah, that was 21. Is that 821? Did I grab the right one there? That is, it's 821. So this goes in like this. I'm looking at it. This is how this, yeah, this is right. And then this piece is the top part. Goes like that. Yeah. Okay, so that's right. It might just be this photo is misleading and this is the way it goes. Yeah, all right. I think this photo makes it look like this is one big solid piece, but in design it is not one big solid piece, and that's why I was like, "Oh, I'm fucking this up." But I don't think I'm fucking this up. I think this is just a bad photo of it, which is really frustrating because now these stickers might not want to stick, and I'll have to liquid cement them on, which is never fun. But yeah, I think the photo is just misleading of how this foot looks when it's done, which is frustrating. Oops. Anyway, turns out Gerard is now part of the team. He is now one of the summons. He is he is a knight. He calls our main dude King, which Kelvin is like, I'm not your king. He's like, what, a knight serves a king? He's like, oh, stop calling me king. Anyway, it was good. It's a good show. Black Summoner is one of my favorite shows this season because I like that it is just a battle junkie, an unapologetic battle junkie, and his only real quest is to have enough money to like take care of himself and then eventually be strong enough to summon the goddess as an actual summon. And there's like, yeah, there's other stuff that's going to happen that he's going to have to deal with, like bigger story stuff. Bigger story stuff is coming for this dude. But in the meantime, he's like totally fine with whatever he's dealing with. All right, so I got this done. Yeah, this does not necessarily match up the photo, but now that I look at it, it's fine. It'll be okay. We can get more of the leg done here. I think we can actually get the whole leg done. And we'll do that. So that is Black Summoner. Again, it is a show that I am enjoying. There is a character in Black Summoner that is kind of a problem, but I do not believe that she will be in this anime adaptation because there's a lot of Black Summoner, and I don't think we'll get to the part where she gets introduced. I mean, she might, but yeah, she's not great. So hopefully we won't see her, but we might end up seeing her, which I would not be thrilled about because it's kind of a problematic character. Are you talking about the S-ranked hero? Yeah, the hero that is in love with, she has a big crush on Gerard, and he's not interested in her because he's not alive. But she's kind of played for laughs in a way that sucks because it's not. She's played for laughs as like a joke character, but it's not great. So yeah, not necessarily looking forward to that. But I don't know if she'll end up even being in the show at that point. Because we've only kind of met the elf. We haven't gotten involved in the elf yet. And big shenanigans that happen with the story. Lots of characters to meet. The merchant character, got a whole bunch of people we gotta meet and deal with before we get to other people. So we'll see. Before we start even dealing with the big bads. Although maybe they'll foreshadow the big bads because they feel like they gotta do something to have some kind of plot. Who knows? Anyway, this is kind of interesting. If I could talk about this model kit for a second. This piece, this polycap, often is used in shoulders or in joints here for the shoulder piece or the arm piece. It's normally like there. It's normally like part of the chest. But in this instance, it is how the leg is going to be connected to our feet, and that is to me interesting because that is atypical. We don't normally have this kind of polycap as a leg connector. So I just thought that was interesting. I don't know. That is an odd polycap to be on a leg. I didn't even think we were going to get to the legs today, so I'm happy about that. Let's see. We're going to finish this up so I can tell you that my Monday stream, of course, I will be talking about some manga because it will be Manga Monday. I will also be talking about the anime Parallel World Pharmacy. And because I'm an episode behind, I'll talk about 2 episodes of my isekai life. I gained a second character class and became the strongest sage in the world. Because I did not... the first 2 episodes aired back to back, and I'm just been one behind. So I'm going to get caught up on those. So I'll have 2 episodes to talk about that. And then next Thursday, I will do a double dose. I will talk about both shows, or both episodes, because this past Thursday, I didn't get to talk about anime because I was busy because both those shows air on a Thursday, and I just had a busy Thursday. Just see if I can get this. For some reason, this leg doesn't necessarily want to connect well here. When I put the other pieces on, it may lock into place properly, but Right now it's being weird. Oops. All right, there's the leg part there, and then we want to put this in here, which is this. Yeah. Whoops. Oh no. Oh no. Separating. Everything's broken. This doesn't seem right. I'm doing this upside. I've understood what the problem was. I was doing it upside down. Sometimes if you're like, hey, this doesn't seem right, it's because it fucking isn't. Because you are doing something wrong. This is the second time tonight that I'm like, hey, this doesn't seem correct. And it was because I was forcing it to be correct when it was definitely wrong. It's very fun that happened to me twice in the same stream. But yeah, it's good to know. It's a good thing to recognize sometimes that, hey, wait, this if it seems wrong, it might be because it is. Anyway, that'll be Monday. Wednesday stream will be me checking out Power Wash Simulator 1.0 because it's out. You know, it's on PC Game Pass. It's available, obviously, on Steam in the full release. All those things, so you can check that out and play along. But yeah, we'll be quote unquote putting it to bed. Be the last time that we talk about that on stream. All right, let's try to get this together now the right way. Also, I'll talk about some manga on Monday because we'll get Manga Monday. That'll be good. I'll look forward to doing that. Talking about some manga with all of y'all. I don't know what we're going to talk about there. So Lashbrook, the last thing that I have, the thing that got added, which I don't think there'll be any more after that, but right now it is a big stone, like looks like it's clay or whatever, hand that is pointing at apparently what is the sea. Big hand pointing at the sea. Now, is there going to be anything after that? I don't think so. I think that's just like the last thing. But it might be that when I finish that, more opens up. I haven't done I haven't completed it. I'm going to complete it on stream. I'm having a lot of fucking problems with this. I just want to finish this goddamn leg, and then we can wrap up the stream. I won't even panel on it tonight. I just want to get it assembled. I don't know why it's being so weird. It's just being weird. But yeah, I think the final boss is just a big hand. And then I will, then I'll just like show off a bunch of other things in it. Maybe we'll even try a timed one. I've never done a time trial in Power Washing Simulator, so maybe we'll check that out. I don't know. But the focus is doing the last one. All right, so the focus of this is, let's try to get this connected here. Do this the way it's supposed to go. Finish this whole thing up here. Get our polycaps where they need to be. Sometimes getting these polycaps just lined up quite right is the struggle. Which is weird. Especially on older kits like this. All right, that's got connected. There we go. Sometimes you can trim the edge of a polycap, but I don't always like to do that because you're sometimes playing with fire by doing that. So let's get there. All right, leg's done there. This is going to attach here. I'm working on the skate park now, and I'm so glad I'm not hearing footsteps constantly like in the early days. Yes, they definitely toned that down, which would have been which was frustrating. And there's a lot of more options for there, a lot of stuff you can do to make your life easier in that game, which I'm grateful for. All right. And then this has just got to go in here. And we finished the leg. You can see a lot of good bend on this leg. Really bends back. Very nice. We have made a lot of progress in this kit. This kit started as just a chest today, and we did a head, both arms, and the leg. So we should be body complete on Monday, but then we still have the big backpack to do. So we got a ways to go on here. But that's going to wrap up tonight's stream. I want to thank everybody for joining me tonight as I worked on this kit. We are going to raid. That is how we end every stream, is with a raid. We're going to go find somebody out there that's doing cool shit and go hang out with them. So feel free to come along on this raid. If you don't want to come, you don't have to, but I would prefer if you did. Make sure if you're not already following me, give me a follow. Come back on Monday for the next stream. Let's see. What are we gonna? Who are we gonna go raid? We got to find somebody doing stuff that we want to go spend some time with. I have no idea how long Rara Vectroid Live is going to stream. Rara has been streaming for let's see, many hours, like 16 hours. So we're going to go into nonsense of Rara. I believe that Rara right now is watching a defunct MTV dating show called Date My Mom. And so we're going to go raid that, because that's nonsense. That's a terrible show where you go on a date with someone's mom. Oh, I'm going to ring the bell. Thank you. Ring the Vectroid bell. But yeah, we're going to go raid Ra because she's doing some wild shit. So feel free to come along in this raid. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But Ra rules, and you're going to have a good time in this. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a great night. Come along, as I said, on this raid, because it's going to be wild and weird. I will see you on the next stream. Sorry, I got to turn my camera off there on the overhead camera. So yeah, come along on the weird one. I'll see you Monday. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.